Welcome back to the Buzz Brew House. Joining me today is Kay Reddington with the Alzheimer's Association. Welcome to the Buzz Brew House.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to see you. Well, we're excited to talk about upcoming events. You've got one coming up in the next couple of weeks for the Alzheimer's Association called The Longest Day.
Yes, we do. This is a pretty unique event, and it's almost, it's so unique it's a little bit hard to describe. But what it is it's a day that we ask people to engage in activities literally the entire day, and we pick the longest day of the year in which to engage in it, and it's sort of emblematic of what people who have Alzheimer's disease and who are the caregivers of those individuals go through on a daily basis. But what we're trying to do it in a way that makes it fun and also raises money. So people pick an activity that they enjoy that may remind them of a loved one who engaged in this activity, and they get a team together and they engage in that activity through the course of the entire day and get pledges to support that.
Give me an example of an activity.
Well, we have one of the groups that we have involved is the Contract Bridge League, and they get their bridge groups to literally play bridge all day long, and they get pledges for that activity and raise money for the Alzheimer's Association. So it's doing good and it's having fun. But it can be anything. We've had book groups involved. We have groups that like to cook, rotating dinner groups who will say, we'll take the day and engage in that activity. So it can really be anything that you enjoy enough to do it all day and do that and raise funds, get pledges, get donations, and engage in that activity. So that's the longest day. That's coming up in June.
And then coming up in November, you've got the annual Alzheimer's Walk.
Yes. Well, anybody that knows anything about the Alzheimer's Association knows that fall is walk season. And so we are one of about 600 walks across the country. Here in Central and North Florida, we do 9. But the one that's most relevant to our community here is the Jacksonville Walk, which takes place on the riverbank right behind the Times Union Performing Arts Center. And it will be November 19th in the morning. Begins at 9 a.m. and is a very easy walk down to the Riverside Arts Market and a loop back. And we look forward to getting as many participants involved in that as we can. That is our signature fundraising event.
So if you could pick 2 sponsors that currently don't sponsor this walk, but you would love to sponsor the walk, which 2 companies would you like to be involved?
Well, I would imagine it would probably be 2 of the bigger ones in Jacksonville that everybody looks at. I'd love to have Fidelity involved. I'd love to have CSX involved.
Let's look right there. Fidelity CSX. We would love to have you. Kay is asking you very nicely.
We'd love to have your financial support, and we'd love to have teams from both of those organizations.
And they're great supporters of the community.
Wonderful supporters of the community. We just haven't been on their radar screen, but certainly we would be very pleased to be there.
So when you're not working, what do you enjoy?
Whoa, it's been so long since I wasn't working. The job takes a lot of time, as you can well imagine. When I'm not working, I enjoy doing a number of things. I love taking advantage of our beaches here in Jacksonville. Although the older I get, it's usually covered with number 70 sunscreen, but I still like to be out there. I love to read, and I very much enjoy cooking for family and friends.
And what is your favorite dish to make?
Oh.
And am I family or friend? So
you can be both.
Excellent.
Like, you could be family and friends, and I would make sure you got a good dish. A number of things. If I'm going not healthy, I'll make my mother's very good spaghetti recipe, and if I'm going very healthy, I'll make grilled salmon.
Both sound wonderful. So the nonprofit that you think helps out the most people in Jacksonville outside of the Alzheimer's Association, is there a go-to not-for-profit that you support?
I'll tell you, I've been in Jacksonville for 20 years. I support a number of nonprofits. I think they all do a very good job with their mission. I know that there's Hands On Jacksonville has been very supportive to us in terms of helping us identify volunteers. Our activities, as I mentioned before, we serve 31 counties, and we have a huge staff of 16 people serving 31 counties. So we rely heavily on volunteers in every one of our markets to to make sure that we can deliver the services that we deliver, not just our fundraising events, but certainly the programs and services that we deliver to people every day to keep them going and surviving dealing with Alzheimer's disease. And so we rely on volunteers, and Hands On Jacksonville has been a huge help to that in fostering those activities. The Nonprofit Center downtown also is a huge resource to our organization and to all the nonprofits in the community.
And what is something that you guys are lacking that would be on your wish list? If there's something that you need from the community, what would it be?
Well, it's always, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but it's always support, financial support. We receive no federal, state, or local government funding at all. Every penny that we raise, all the money that we raise in the community from individuals, corporations, and foundations to deliver the programs and services we do, which are support groups, education, training for professionals and for caregivers, general education for the community. So everything we do comes down to the money that we raise. So that kind of financial support, hugely important, whether it's in-kind services or whether it's actual financial donations. And secondly, as I mentioned before, people. We need, when we put on this Walk to End Alzheimer's event in November, we need huge numbers of people involved. We need participants as walkers and to raise money, and we need volunteers there that day helping us out. So all of that, if anyone is interested in supporting the Alzheimer's Association, we've got a place for you.
Well, I appreciate you joining us on the Buzz Brewhouse today. Kay, thank you for all you do for the community, and we look forward to continuing to promote your events.
Thanks for your time.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. We look forward to seeing you again on the Buzz Brewhouse. Make sure to sign up on June 20th for the longest day for the Alzheimer's Association, as well as the walk in November. We'll see you next week on the Buzz Brewhouse.